Philippines is one of the largest archipelagos in the world. The Philippines is a country that is rich in natural resources. Not only does the country have rich mineral deposits, extensive shorelines, and diverse flora and fauna, but it has vast fertile arable lands. The Philippines have various landforms including volcanoes. These volcanoes are the reason why our land is very fertile. Our fertile land have produced a variety of crops such as corn, sugarcane, coffee, sweet potato, coconut, banana, copra, and many more. But the most important crop produced in the Philippines is our primary food crop, palay, or commonly known as rice. Rice is what many farmers grow and is also what nearly all consumers eat. Rice is known as one of the most consumed grains in the whole world. It is not just the Philippine staple food but also for over half of the world's population. Rice makes up about 20% of the daily calorie intake. It has been said that about 5 cups of rice per person is consumed by each Filipino per day. Rice is not only delicious and goes well with everything but also have health benefits. Rice is a good source of energy, improve the nervous system health, can help reduce cancer risk, prevent obesity, good source of protein, controls heart health, and can be used as skincare and many more. Rice is life, is what many Filipinos love to say. We can't live without it no matter how it's cooked. We eat it during breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or even for meriendas.
Almost everywhere we look, there are food chains offering only rice.
According to research by Brody, rice is the single most important agricultural crop in the Philippines and is therefore the main livelihood for millions and thousands of Filipino farmers. In the country, rice is widely produced and cultivated on the island of Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and Central Mindanao. A few years ago, the Philippines made it into the list of countries that are the largest rice producers in the entire world. With a country that is rich in its biodiversity, the Philippines' biggest asset should have been our own lands. However, our agricultural sector, specifically the farming sector, is in a very huge crisis. The Filipino farmers are a dying breed. There's been a scarcity of rice farmers in the country. Filipino farmers believe that within the next few years or more, the Philippines will only have factories as more and more farmers are leaving. About 45% of the Philippine workforce is comprised of the youth, being call center agents, nurses, overseas Philippine workers or OFW, sales ladies, and salesmen, as well as clerks. Farming and agriculture are far down the list. Even the children of our families don't want anything to do with farming. They don't have any interest and knowledge in farming, which means that there's no one to continue the farming. With no one to plant our own primary crop, it is going to be a huge problem in the next future. But how has the Philippines agricultural come to this?
What is the problem of our local farmers? The problem is obvious. No more people to farm the land, no more crops to harvest, no more food to eat, equal hunger. The root cause of why some farmers have decided to quit farming and why there is low interest in farming or agriculture is because of the current issues that are surrounding in this sector. Comparing the different sectors, our farming sector is the most indigent. To think that they are the ones soaking under the scorching heat of the sun every day, yet they are the ones suffering the most. Even if we rank 8th among the countries that are the largest rice producer, the country became the world's biggest rice importer a few years after. Specifically, 2 years after the RTL or Rice Tariffication Law. Though before the Rice Tariffication Law, the situation was not any better. For a very long time, our country's rice market was dominated by an agency called NFA, or National Food Agency. Filipino consumers had to pay high prices, yet the rice farmer remained the poorest sector in the Philippines. But that was before the Rice Tariffication Law. The Rice Tariffication Law liberalizing the importation, exportation, and trading of rice. This new law allowed an influx or low-cost rice from abroad, though it benefited consumers by reducing and stabilizing unmilled and retail rice prices. The new law caused major concerns due to its potential impact on our Filipino rice farmers. The decision to import rice hurt our farmers' income. However, the government did create a program for preventive measures called RCEF, or the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund.
This program promised to utilize the funds from the import tariffs to aid domestic rice farmers. RCEF set aside a total of 10 billion pesos annually, good for 6 years, to be allocated and disbursed to these components. 50% to the mechanization program, 30% to the seed program, 10% to the credit program, and 10% to the extension services program, with the thought of being able to help our farmers. However, the surge in importation hit farmers with a notable drop in farm gate prices, as well as the slow implementation of the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund program. This once again provoked people to voice out their opposition to the law by protesting, although it is not very new to us upon hearing that Filipino farmers are protesting against the government. Up until now, Filipino farmers are still suffering and facing problems. In addition to that, although we are greatly benefited from the country's geography, we are also at a great risk due to volcanic eruptions, landslides, flash floods, and most especially typhoons are just another factor affecting Filipino farmers. Not to mention the lack of government's adequate support, our country's farmers have been led to think that only the big capitalists has benefited from the current system. We might think that we have nothing to worry about because we can easily rely on importation, but think of what will happen when the world's population will continue to grow. Do you still think that we can buy rice from another country? They'll most probably put their country first, leaving us in a dark situation and food shortages.
Every Filipino person needs to be aware of the crisis in our farming sector. Our government must listen now. They should start listening and aiding our pitiful farmers who are in constant suffering. The government needs to stop neglecting these people. Immediate action must be done before the important sector in the Philippines cease to exist. The Philippines needs its farmers, intelligent, skilled, and dedicated farmers. If the farming sector in their country gets better, it would encourage the youth to become one. But not just any ordinary farmers. Entrepreneur farmers like the ones from the international countries, such as the farmers in the United States of America. The country could incorporate the ever-evolving and innovative technology into the farming sector, with the rising new farmers themselves being the ones to handle it. Modern times calls for modern solution. We have to step up with the changes. Steps must be made and actions must be done.